one of the initial customers popped a message that, hey guys, I want to come and see you guys in your office in India. We are like, oh my God, that's crazy. I mean, we don't have our own office. We very clearly categorically mentioned around no layoffs, irrespective whatever it may be. We actually thrived during that time. We in that 1 year, we doubled our revenues. We also added 200 more people.
A lot of founders and startups struggle with funding, but Appinventiv is a bootstrap company. How did you manage to do it for the last 10 years?
What we thought of as a small idea among the few friends that we thought of 10 years back, we pulled up a team of 1,500 people team globally. Being bootstrapped has enabled our growth and has been a very powerful growth engine for us. Assumptions is the mother of all fuck-ups. When in fact we were starting off, we used to work out of a very small house of my partner's apartment. They always say us, I mean, the time we've spent with Appinventiv has probably been the best experience in their lives. And that is very satisfying.
Welcome to the very first episode of the MAD podcast. I'm your host Shagun, and if you are wondering what does MAD stand for, well, it's Mobile App Daily, and we are a little bit mad about tech, apps, and digital innovation. This is where we'll be sitting down with brilliant minds that are shaping the digital world and have real conversations about what's going on in the tech world. So if you're a founder who's figuring out your next move, a developer who's just curious about industry trends, or just someone who's fascinated by how digital solutions are shaping the world, you're in the right place. Today we have with us Mr. Prateek Saxena, who's co-founder and director at Appinventiv. Hi sir, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me here. Appreciate it.
So, what I want to know is, I have heard about Appinventiv from so many people, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of colleagues, but I want to know your perspective on this. How has this journey been on the inside?
I'm glad that you heard about Appinventiv. I'm very happy to hear that. And the journey has been very rewarding, very fun, full of excitement. And what makes it more interesting is what we thought of as a small idea among the few friends that we thought of 10 years back has now evolved into a very strong tech powerhouse that is working with global customers, and we pulled up a team of 1,500 people team globally, and working with such a passionate, innovative, filled with a lot of energy folks is very highly rewarding and highly satisfying experience. So I think we are blessed to have such a strong team, such a support of people around us, and this is what I think is the best part of our journey.
Yeah. So you've had a really long journey of 15 years across business and tech sectors. But what were those very few key moments that you feel like really defined your journey, in the last 15 years?
I think there have been many moments when you get started, when you start up, a lot of challenges, a lot of aspirations we have, and we want to grow, we want to succeed. But I think one of the few moments were, very early on, when in fact we were starting off, we used to work out of a very small house of my partner's apartment, and we had just started off, and we had no idea in terms of where we probably would go in next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. We had just started off, and we were just full of energy that we'll do something, we'll go in all directions and everything. And suddenly one fine day, it has been just few months we had started, and we suddenly have one of the initial customers popped a message that, hey guys, I want to come and see you guys in your office in India. And we're like, oh my God, that's crazy. I mean, we don't have our own office. I mean, how do we handle this?
Yeah.
So immediately, we popped in all directions, started looking for an office space. Just in a week's time, we found a good office, we renovated it, and we welcomed him. That gave an immediate impact in terms of, had that been not the request coming in from somebody, we probably would have kept on working in that small environment and possibly just managed to live. But the moment that request came in and we took up as a challenge and addressed it, immediately we saw exponential growth, because now we had a big office, the overall style of experience of working in a professional environment, and now that growing that as an office and making that as a culture-driven work environment, that phenomenally changed the experience.
Yeah.
So, and there are a number of stories around that we can recall, but this is something that was a game changer, because that happened right at the right time when we were just starting off. We're building an organization and we're building a culture, and I think that moment actually laid the foundation of Appinventiv as an office and as an organization from that perspective. Yeah.
Wow. So just a small invite
Yeah.
turned into this
Yes.
entire journey, right?
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
brilliant. So, like you mentioned in the beginning of your journey at
Yeah.
Appinventiv, it was a small team of
Yeah.
10 people,
Yeah.
and now it's a
Yeah.
1600
Yeah.
plus
Yeah.
employee company. Crazy number.
Yeah.
But how do you navigate, through all of this and managing so many people and making sure that you're doing all of this while being a successful company?
I think so. Managing people might be the toughest job, but from my perspective, it is one of the most interesting jobs in the world as well, because it enables you to interact with so many people. It helps you to exchange ideas, discuss aspirations, different perspectives, personalities, and somebody as an entrepreneur
Yeah.
who builds who finds fun in interacting with people and nurturing and building relationships. I think building and scaling large teams is not a challenge once you
Yeah.
understand personalities, when you understand individuals, and once you build a culture around that enables them to bring out the best in them. I think it is so much of fun that you see people around and helping you, enabling you, working closely with you.
Yeah.
So I think what has worked best for us, I think right from the beginning, was we had a very strong culture driven organization. We've always wanted to ensure that when we build an organization, we want to bring a place, we want to build a place wherein everybody who comes and works with us probably ends up spending the best moments of their lives working in any organizations.
Wow.
And I think it is very satisfying experience, because a lot of employees who ends up working with other organizations as well later on, and when they come back to us and they meet us in parties or outside, they always have the same feeling that we had wanted to find in our organization culture. They always say us, I mean, the time we've spent with Appinventiv has probably been the best experience in their lives, and that is very satisfying.
Yeah.
So I think people, managing people, finding people, and retaining them, and giving them culture and the environment is, I think every entrepreneur should look into it. That's the single most asset that you can build for an organization.
Yeah. So companies really struggle managing just one office, but Appinventiv has a global presence.
Yeah.
I want to know, what were the strategies that you implemented? What was that experience like of entering new markets and making sure it works?
That's an interesting question. So right from beginning, we have been fortunate to work with customers across the globe, and what we focused on is a very unique approach of solving real problems for enterprises, businesses, and startups. And what we very closely observed, wherever we could possibly bring a massive impact, let's scale in that direction and let's solve similar problems for organizations that similar industry. So what that enabled us, we picked up very interesting use cases specific to an industry or specific to a geography, and we went very deep into ensuring that we become the SMEs of that space. So that one, it gave us a lot of confidence and maturity with respect to how we were solving their problems, as well as we got a lot of recognition because we came as very strong, matured consultants and a technology competent partners for those organizations. And beyond that, we also picked up what regions globally wherein we can drive massive impact from those use cases. So if you look into our journey, we have been very strong globally. US, Middle East have been the prime areas where we have grown. And that is how, I mean, we picked up right industries, right use cases. And of course, I mean, we're fortunate with our customers who have also supported us throughout this journey, and that gave us a lot of insight. So just to summarize, I mean, we've been very proactive and very active to understand what's happening in the ecosystem, and we at a right point of time we picked up right opportunities and went massively into it in solving those problems. So this is how we eventually figured out what geographies are working best for us. And once you have that layout in place, it is just a matter of strategizing and executing those roadmap. We spoke to a lot of people, we spoke with a lot of entrepreneurs, we spoke to a lot of enterprises, we take their help, and eventually we scaled our operations thereafter. Yeah.
Right.
So I'll take an example. So We were working for a startup which was very interesting use case that they were trying to solve, a product they were trying to build. We worked very hard for them for around 5-6 months during the development, design, and launch phase. And fortunately, the founders were able to get a lot of traction in the region, and that gave a lot of visibility back to us because everybody was probably asking the founders, I mean, which is the tech agency that has been working with you? And immediately a lot of recognition brought in, so that clicked us and we went deep into the region. We started acquiring more customers, and we knew that since now we have credibility, and that is way back when we started off within just first year of our inception. We knew that this is the geography we want to get in. We've got some customers, we got some recognition, and similarly, as a result of that, we ended up acquiring a lot of enterprise customers because the geography was quite native, and it was kind of a greenfield opportunity for us, and that resulted us in giving us a lot of business around it. So I think what to summarize is. Having a very close understanding of what is working for you, what is not working for you, scale the opportunities and strategies that works for you, and probably figure out some ways to expedite that scale as well. I think that is most important. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. So, Appinventiv recently completed its 10 years. So,
Yeah.
congratulations
Yeah.
for that. And I'm really excited to know what are we looking at for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
What do you have in mind and what should we be keeping an eye out for?
So I think from when it comes to technology, the 10 years is a very broad horizon to even talk about. But I will just still give you a perspective of where I think. In last 1 year we have all noticed and witnessed how AI has changed the way we work, the way we think, and the way we interact. So to give a perspective, I think I'll probably break down scale into multiple areas. So one is a global scale. So we are scaling and going deep into geographies where we have strongest presence. So we are building our teams, we are building our competencies, we are investing into hiring top talent in those geographies, and obviously we are building an ecosystem wherein we can work very closely with our customers and bring them the best value by working with us. This is one area of kind of a global scale in terms of expansion. The next one, technology. So we are investing heavily into AI space. We've been working very aggressively in solving some real use cases in AI as well. Um, we established a very strong practice within the organization, and not just solving use cases, but we are also very focused around driving opportunities and result oriented solutions. We are delivering ROI driven AI strategies and consulting implementations for our customers. So AI would be definitely a great area wherein we are investing a lot of our time and effort, and we're spending a lot of our energies into helping our customers stay ahead in the technology game. I think the third would be around people, talent, and culture again. So while we scale on expanding our team, we invest on technology. We are also spending a lot of our time and effort in empowering our team, making them get into new technologies, new learning sessions, mentoring, guidance, beyond just work, even in their physical form, their health and wellness. So a lot of those areas would also come into our scale. So together, I think for at least for the next 3 to 5 years, Appinventiv growth looks very promising, and I'm happy that we are heading into the right direction. Personally, I will be very closely involved in mentoring, strategizing, and ensuring the team that is driving our scale has the right tools, processes, and systems to enable them to bring out the best for them and the organization.
So there's a lot to unpack in that one answer. So we'll take it item by item.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you mentioned, just how much AI has taken the entire industry by storm.
Yeah.
Do you think that in the next 10 years, AI and AI agents will be just as relevant as today?
I mean, again, like I said, next 10 years, the way AI has evolved, even predicting what would be the next 10 months or 3 months is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
But one thing is for sure, AI is here to stay, and it is bound to bring massive impact on each and everyone's life. The way it is becoming more and more intelligent and problem solving. What brings in the best for enterprise and where we are also spending a lot of our time and effort is also helping enterprise understand what areas brings in the most value for their AI investments, because the biggest challenge what the enterprise is currently facing is their ROI associated in their investments they are making in AI strategies. I think as per some research, very minimal percentage of enterprise have actually realized the ROI of their investments in their AI initiatives, AI spendings. So that is we're very focused on. So when we're working with enterprise in helping them plan their AI strategy, we help them handhold and take a complete ownership of ensuring that whatever AI strategies they implement and whatever the use cases they pick, whatever departments, functions they want uh, to implement AI, it is all ROI driven. It is all very methodical, scientifically process driven, so that it is scalable. It's just not a fad that everybody is getting into AI, so we ought to need to invest into AI. It has to be process driven as well. And beyond that as well, I think security, guardrails, and a lot of those aspects which at times go unnoticed is also we are trying to ensure that due to a consulting practice, our customers take advantage of our knowledge and they invest wisely into those initiatives. So I think I mean, 10 years is very long time, but I think even next 1 or 2 years, we are bound to see massive transformation experience when it comes to AI in our lives. 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So what's really interesting to me is that you almost always, bring back the focus on your people and your
Yeah.
employees, and
Yeah.
that's so
Yeah.
inspiring and
Yeah.
really unique.
Yeah.
So and it really checks out because I was looking at your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I came across your post, and you have a lot of opinions about how should teams work
Yeah.
and what corporate culture should be
Yeah.
like. And you have a really interesting take on all of this.
Yeah.
So where is all of this coming from? And yeah, it's
So
really
I think
interesting.
it comes from the fact that I've not always been an entrepreneur myself. I mean, 10 years back, I was also one of those who were doing a job. And I've been fortunate to be a part of organizations who have who have very strong culture. I've been very blessed to work with mentors who have given me the knowledge and right guidance, and a platform wherein I can also utilize that knowledge. So for me, personally, working with people, understanding what their needs, their aspirations, and building an environment that gives them the best experience is probably the topmost priority for me.
Yeah.
Eventually, what you need to understand, whatever organization we end up building, it's all built around people. It's always a people driven organization and culture. So I personally invest a lot of my time and effort in ensuring that are we the kind of organization that people want to work with, are we the kind of organization that our customers enjoy working with, and everything comes to the fact that how well we are able to hire top quality talent, how well we are able to train them, nurture them, and how well we are able to ensure they work with us. Not just there are employees and the people, but also family. Their families is also part of what impacts the most for their organization.
Right.
So I think personally, this topic is very close to me, and personally I also try to work very closely with everybody in my team as well. But I'm very vocal about this aspect of building a top-notch culture for the organization. So I think
That's a
you
really
got it right.
refreshing take, I
Yeah.
think, and that's really interesting as
Yeah.
well. Okay, so let's go back to,
Yeah.
when we're talking about global.
Just another point. I think
Yeah.
beyond my learnings, there's a book that I always recommend to every entrepreneur that they should read. It's called No Rules Rules.
Okay.
And there's a fantastic book around the culture that Netflix has. And once you read through it and you understand, it gives a different perspective of how the culture-driven organizations can actually grow and succeed.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic book and definitely must read from my side.
Yeah, and I think my observation is that a country like India,
Yeah.
it really needs that kind of learning
Yeah.
and that really
Yeah.
big change in how corporate works.
Yeah.
So it's a really refreshing take again. So let's go back to
Yeah.
this entire topic where we're talking
Yeah.
about how Appinventiv plans to expand globally.
Yeah.
What do you think are going to be the next challenges that you'll face when you're trying to aggressively expand further into newer markets?
I think the most challenging aspect for any organization is to find the right people at the right stage of their journey when building an organization who eventually can understand their roles and responsibilities and can resonate back with respect to what is expected from the organizations. So I think what I personally feel is scaling up geographically, finding the right skilled people in the right point of time is what probably drives the next level of growth, which is again very critical for our business. I
Right.
think we'll come back on this. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Sure. So the next question that I'm
yeah,
planning on asking you is that the IT market is struggling,
yeah,
and as the leader of the business division
yeah,
at Appinventiv,
yeah,
how are you? What's your secret sauce? How are you making sure
yeah,
that you get the best
yeah.
leads, the
Sure,
best
sure,
clients?
sure.
The IT industry is struggling.
Yeah,
It's going through a little bit of a rough patch right now, and as the business head of
yeah,
Appinventiv,
yeah,
what are you doing? What is your secret sauce, and how are you making sure that your company gets the best clients, the
yeah,
highest quality of clients and leads?
yeah. So there are two ways to look into it. One is you enable a process through which customers are able to find you and maybe you are able to generate a conversations. I think our marketing team is phenomenal in that space, so they're able
Yeah.
to do that. So it's the second part is like you said. I mean, IT is struggling. This is happening. So this is from a perspective that I also understand from one of my mentors that there would always be factors externally which you just cannot control. There always be some wars happening, some crises happening, something are happening in and around,
Right.
which you have absolutely no control. What probably you have control is how best you can build your own knowledge, systems, and processes, and how well you can serve your customers. If the focus is always around giving back the value to the customer, give him in fact more value than he has perceived while doing a business with you, and you create such an experience for the customers, and you become the only problem, the only one who can solve the problems for your customers. I think that one mindset is good enough for you to overcome all the barriers that probably might exist externally for an organization. So I agree there has been an impact globally. Fortunately, I think there are two ways to look into it. Either we keep spending a time and effort in observing what is happening, or we utilize that time and period and reinvest back into our processes, technologies, and improve ourselves every day. I think we have been doing that every day. We are working very hard on improving the experience to our customers, finding a lot of strategies through which we can enable them, we can serve them better, we can give them the phenomenal experience. We become a very strong collaboration for them. So I think that has worked best for us. It's only when customers find value in you, it is only when you and the organization can grow and scale. So I think what really matters is a very customer focused approach around how we can bring back the more value for them in that ecosystem.
Right.
Yeah,
So this is really interesting.
yeah,
Now, I want to know your opinion on this. Everyone's been stuck, watching the news lately
yeah,
because of a lot of geopolitical
yeah,
tensions that are,
yeah,
a bit rampant right now. So, do you think that this entire thing of war and blah and
yeah.
blah, all of this is going to impact App Inventiv's operations or just the industry in general? How do you think this is going to work out for you guys?
I mean, so if you look into it, there has been some wars happening all across at any point of time globally, right?
True.
But what we are trying to do right now is different around solving real problems for enterprises and businesses but through technology. So problems still exist, would always exist, irrespective of what is happening. There could be some minor impacts, of course, which would always be something might still happen, like I said. But what matters is, I think, focus on what possibly we can do to solve a problem for the customer, and how well you can do that actually defines your further roadmap. So I think, irrespective whatever may happen externally, I do not honestly get bothered around it. I think the focus is clear. I see a strong potential,
Yeah.
uh, not just in technology, but the way we are expanding into our knowledge and competency, I see a very strong potential for Appinventiv personally. So
Right.
I'm not much concerned around it. I'm more focused around how well we can invest into our knowledge and competency and team, so that we can do best for our customers. I think that's what matters the most for us. Yeah.
Right. So globally, the IT markets are going through a little bit of a rough patch right now. And as someone who's leading the business division at AppInventiv, what are you doing differently to make sure that your team secures the highest quality of leads and clients? What's your secret sauce?
We don't chase opportunities or leads. I think we track them. And the way we do it is there's a lot of we're very vocal on the work that we do through our content, case studies, thought leadership, events, marketing. We're very vocal about what we do. So I think we are able to attract the right opportunities where we should be investing our time. I think one of the most important things that differentiate us is on the value-driven approach. And honestly, a lot of opportunities we simply do not take up because we feel that one, we might not be the right partners for those customers, or else we don't find our customers investing into an initiative which doesn't bring them the value. So what works best for us? We're very honest, consultative selling that we do with them, very strong value driven approach that we adopt with them to ensure that whatever investments they make with us in any technology that we help them build brings them the best value back to them in any of this approach. I think that honest consulting is what I think makes the most impact. It's just not about taking up anything for the sake of doing business. It's always about finding meaningful businesses that you can help. So that's what. And a lot of in that approach, we're a very strong team, right from sales, technology, product architects, consultants who help us knit the complete story for the customers and help them handhold them, because the way we come in it as their technology partners, as their CTOs who they can trust, and once you have established the trust,
Yeah.
it's it's almost that you have entered into a long-term marriage. So I think establishing that trust and doing an honest consulting has a lot of value. And just to give you another perspective, while we have a lot of companies who might not be doing great in IT space, there's still a lot of companies who are doing phenomenally great. They're still growing, scaling.
Right.
So if you look into from their journeys, they are definitely doing something that we should learn. Everybody should learn and follow them as well. And somewhere in that journey, the value-driven consultative selling would have played a very important role for them. So that's what differentiates. Yeah.
COVID time was a really tough time for a lot of companies of your size. And it was a blessing and a curse at the same time for the entire
Yeah.
startup ecosystem, right? But again, what did you do differently that AppInventiv did not fail and in fact it flourished during the COVID era? What was it that you did?
It's interesting. It was a very different time of our lives, which nobody had ever thought of, and I think nobody would ever face. I hope that nobody ever have to go through what the world went through in COVID times.
Right.
But I think what worked for us was we were very fast in adapting in terms of what was coming on our way. Although we were very vigilant of what is happening, but we worked really fast. So we set up the complete COVID support team at AppInventiv. In just a matter of day post announcement, we all had to go complete hybrid.
Right.
It was a very different experience. I mean, we are so used to working so collaboratively in office that going hybrid was an altogether different experience. So right from mobilizing the teams, ensuring the staff is taken care of, they are back home safe, the infra support systems, everything was delivered. So we had built a very strong, robust team that was very closely working with the entire organization and taking care of all their needs in that time period to ensure that they are taken care of. So that was the kind of support infra level that enabled us just to go complete hybrid and be agile as well, and without disrupting any of the work area. The second was this also gave us a lot of observation that a lot of businesses had to actually go online for that matter. So we capitalized on a lot of opportunities wherein businesses had to go online, enable their businesses, and that is very tapped on a lot of opportunities because the COVID gave us that opportunity to drive those transformation initiatives for them, and that gave us a lot of confidence. Another thing that we did was very start of our COVID times when we all went hybrid. We very clearly, categorically mentioned around no layoffs, irrespective whatever it may be, whatever situations even may come up in future. We're very strong that layoffs would probably be the last option for us. We would not be doing. Although a lot of news coming around, we were also getting overwhelmed with what is happening in the world.
Yeah.
But we kept to our words and we ensured that everybody is taken care of. I think that gave a lot of confidence and a moral boost to our employees.
Yeah.
Because just one fine day you're asked to go back home, the world is changing, the families are disrupted, and if at that point of time, if we don't end up giving that support professionally, where people end up so much of time and effort of their lives, that gave a lot of confidence. In fact, not just survived, we actually thrived during that time. We in that 1 year, we doubled our revenues. We also added 200 more people during that time period.
Wow.
And all worked, hired, trained, enabled virtually online. So I think that was a fantastic time. And from thought leadership perspective, we were very collaboratively working with our employees in terms of mentoring, sessions, collaborating, ensuring that everybody is taken care of. So yeah, that was a tough time, but I think we managed to run through very well, and we're very happy that we managed to scale as well during that time
Right.
period.
I think this is really inspirational.
Yeah.
The fact that you decided that there are going to be no
Yeah,
layoffs,
absolutely.
and you stuck to it. I think a
Yeah.
lot of startup founders could really learn from that message that employees and people
Yeah.
aren't disposable tools, and they're
Absolutely
people
not.
and they're family. So
Absolutely.
that's a really interesting take again.
100%.
Appinventiv has been recognized numerous times, and I think for everyone, irrespective of whether you're in business or not, when you get recognitions and rewards, it's a really sweet win.
Yeah.
And for Appinventiv, there have been several, including App Development Company of the Year, Times Business Awards,
Yeah.
India's Growth Champions. I mean, I really have to read them out loud to remember.
Yeah.
Deloitte's Fastest 50
Yeah.
twice. So with all of these different wins, do they become the same, or does one of these have like a sweeter memory and you're more attached to it?
I think all of these awards in last 10 years have enabled us to become a better organization.
Yeah.
Has also given us more responsibilities on our shoulders that we are now overlooked by world globally in terms of the way we work, act, transform the lives of our employees, people, and organizations that we are working with. So I think what it has given us definitely a great feeling, a lot of credibility, a lot of weightage, but also given a lot of responsibilities that we continue to keep doing our best work and continue to be part of these awards so that we keep motivating ourselves, our teams, and I think it's fun. I mean, I think the greatest acknowledgement for doing the hard work is kind of a reward or an award that enables your next phase of life. I mean, every reward is special. It reflects the team's effort, sweat, hard work, aspirations, achievements, everything all put together. Deloitte Fast 50 was special. I mean, it not just once, it validated our growth twice consistently. Times Business Award was phenomenal because it just not validated our efforts in tech, but beyond tech and in business as well. What excites most is not just we getting the awards, but when our customers get the awards for the work we've done for them. That is actually what drives most value to us. So I think what it also makes us is more aspirational, more hungry for more work, more aspirational work, and I think we would be looking forward to doing our best. And I think getting an award probably is a byproduct of you doing best of the work and building a great team and a great culture, which I always keep talking about.
Right.
And we look forward to getting more awards, 100%.
Right. You know what? This kind of reminds me of, when if Appinventiv was a kid, I just feel like all the cousins would be really jealous because, I mean, if you're taking away all the trophies, of course, kids are going to not like that a lot.
We'll always be the most favorite pampered kid in the family, 100%.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's move on to the next segment of the video, a rapid fire round. So I'm going to ask you questions and you have to answer them as soon as you can.
And I get a gift hamper as well, right?
Well, if you deserve one, maybe.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the first question, one word to describe your 10-year journey with Appinventiv.
Oh, it's roller coaster. It has been ups and downs, but I'm glad that we've always managed to operate at a very high speed.
Great. One book you would recommend to entrepreneurs?
No doubt, it is No Rules Rules. But the fantastic, phenomenal books I always advise to everybody. I keep gifting it to everybody I meet in my life. So it's one book I always very strongly recommend. Yeah.
Got it. What's the one habit every entrepreneur should build?
I think network, build connections, build meaningful connections, genuinely try to uh, help people in whatever possible way they can. Yeah.
Okay. The first thing you look for in a startup before mentoring them?
Founders.
That was a very straight
Yeah.
answer. Okay. If you were to have one superpower, what would it be?
I think one superpower maybe disappear so that at times even founders need a break from what is happening around them
Right.
in their lives. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be a very hectic
Yeah.
place to be in. Got it. Okay. One app you can't live without other than any social media app.
I think it has to be one of the travel apps because I'm so fond of traveling that whenever I get time, either I'm working or either I'm having fun with the family or I'm planning an itinerary for me.
Got it. Favorite actor and his or her best performance according to you?
Unfortunately, I don't watch movies. But if you really want me to answer, considering I'll get a gift hamper, the answer would be that I am my own hero in my life.
Wow.
and and all the things I do is what I think I would like to do for all throughout my life.
Yeah, so your life is your best performance then.
100%.
Awesome.
I just hope that I keep improving my performance every
Yeah.
day, every second. Yeah.
Okay, well then you deserve an Oscar. Maybe that could be your hamper.
Thank
Got
you.
it. So, are you an early bird or a night owl?
It depends. So currently I'm night owl, but I'm an aspirational early bird as well. I want to be an early bird, but I think it depends.
Got it. Now, this one's a really important question.
Yeah.
Do you think AI agents will replace some manpower in Appinventiv?
I think it is going to transform some manpower definitely in terms of what we have been doing and what we would eventually be doing and how we will be solving complex problems.
How do you keep yourself fit after having such a packed schedule every day?
I think it's about focus and consistency, and I've always been very consistent and focused around the fitness, and I like it. I'm very passionate about it. So I think what you're passionate about, you eventually find time to do it, irrespective of how crazy the schedule is. It's for everybody for that matter. Yeah.
Okay, and now that we know you love travel, what's your favorite weekend getaway?
Or it has to be a beach destination. Be in India, be it outside India, doesn't matter. It has to be a beach destination for me.
Okay. If not tech, what alternate career would you have pursued?
I think I would have been a coach. I would love to be a kind of a coach or a mentor or somebody in teaching, education, maybe something doing for the kids, maybe for the founders, entrepreneurs. Somewhere has to be in coaching business probably. Yeah.
Okay. And one piece of advice you'd give to your 25-year-old self?
Don't hesitate to take risk at all at any cost. I mean, of course, not just go blind with it, but don't hesitate. Take risk, get into things that you've never thought of, take more opportunities. You never know what could transform one decision or one risk could transform your entire career or life.
So you've said a lot of inspirational things in this conversation, but who do you find inspirational and who's that one role model that you always follow?
I think I have a lot of role models in my life who I seek inspiration from. Steve Jobs is one of them. I mean, I look up to him for his design thinking and his experience-driven approach all throughout his life. Ratan Tata is one of them. He's pioneers in business. I think every entrepreneur should look into him, read through what he has done, his humility, his integrity, and his what he has, what legacy he has left. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
phenomenal. Rahul Dravid has always been my favorite people I look up to. His his style, his classiness, his consistent performance, and his humbleness has always inspired me. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the areas that I always look into from top people, how they still maintain their calm, they still stay humble in spite of all the achievements they have made. And I think beyond that as well, in personal life, the way I work, the way I operate, I always see a lot of inspiration personally from my team around me that works. I mean, relentlessly. I mean, working so hard, slogging hours, and every time they bring out such an innovation in their work, such a creativity in their work, completely inspiring. I think personally, I got a lot of inspiration from family too. My son, who is 6 years old, I find so much inspiration around how can one be so happy, so lovable, so fulfilling. I think there are so much of things that you can still seek inspiration from people around you, irrespective how small or big they are in their age. Doesn't
Right.
matter at all. Yeah.
So I feel like you have this thinking that inspiration is in the eye of the beholder
Oh,
because,
absolutely, 100%,
right.
100%.
Okay. So you've mentored a lot of startups and
Yeah.
a lot of entrepreneurs, but I want to know, is there a particular story that actually inspired you, an entrepreneur that had an impact on you?
Uh, So there is one wherein we have been working very closely with the founders in terms of building their product, and we were constantly going back and forth in terms of helping them evaluate the product right fit in terms of what to do, what not to do, and we kept building something which we didn't know in terms of will work or not. So we had to work very closely to make them understand and guide them. That I think taking user feedback at every stage of their cycle and the process is very important for us to ensure that what gets built is exactly what the customers need to see. And that also gives a perspective that every founder, every entrepreneur has a lot of fascination and a lot of optimist about what they want to build. But eventually what matters is you build something that has a lot of adoption in place, and the only way we can do that is by talking to the people who would end up consuming that product, by taking the right feedback at right point of time. I think this is something that I think I always advise to all my entrepreneurs, friends, uh, partners, and my customers, that be very vigilant, be very conversational about taking right feedbacks at right point of time from the customers. Yeah.
Right. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting their journey, maybe in the IT sector or
Yeah.
just any business?
The first and foremost is to understand and introspect. Uh, why do we exist? What is that we want to build? What is the core purpose of the existence? And once you understand, we can clearly map in terms of what value an organization or a startup or company want to build out of it. Build a very strong customer empathy processes that is built around finding solutions to customer problems than just doing a regular business, because it's not a long term solution in any which ways. Second is more around building a very strong team. Find the right people, hire right people, and ensure that they are given the right work that keeps them motivated. So retention is again a very important aspect. Build rock solid, top quality talent team. Focus on talent density in the team. That is most important. Also, I think one of the most important thing is to fail faster and learn from it. I think a lot of founders they get stuck in some disappointments and some areas which pulls back the energy. I think it is important to stay vigilant, keep active, and focus on what works for them. So
Yeah.
very quick learning and adaptation process. And I think last is focus on impact over revenues. What kind of impact as an organization we are able to create for externally for our customers, for our partners, and internally for our people around. So once that area of life is taken care of,
Yeah.
when we are able to create a meaningful impact for people who are associated with externally, internally both, I think it's a success for the organization 100%.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
not just about numbers, it should be a
Absolutely
very
not.
holistic
A
approach.
number is important. Number is a very critical piece because that helps you define the growth. It helps you understand if you are heading the right direction. It
Right.
keeps you, if it helps you track your progress as well.
Right.
But that should not be the only thing in life. You have to focus on some other areas that brings a real value.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've mentored a lot of startups,
Yeah.
but is there a story that sticks out for you and a brand that grew after you mentored them?
Uh, so this is a brand that I've definitely, I mean, call very strongly calls out from the memory, and we're very proud of the association. So I mean, we've been working with a brand. We were introduced at a time when they were struggling to get some conversions through their product that they have built, and eventually we realized the experience from the user experience wasn't that great and needs a lot of attention and lot of attention that was required. So eventually we came in to understand and help them understand and help them evaluate how we can possibly improve the experience, and we can figure out ways that we can improve the overall user journeys for that product. We did that, and we relaunched the product uh, uh, in GCC in Middle East, and immediately post launch, it was a very transformational engagement for us. We were getting into very large engagement, very high visibility product that already had a lot of users, lot of visibility, a lot of people still using it, but again not getting enough conversions because of the experience. So we worked very closely with the brand. Brand had a very strong team in from that was working with us as well. We worked really hard with the brand and their team, and we launched their first version just in 4 months of signing up. And immediately post that, we got a lot of great attention from consumers, people around it. A lot of conversions start happening in terms of their order value, the cycle, and their overall customer journeys. But eventually gave us a lot of confidence around how impactful our work could be at a large scale. And eventually we ended up not just doing mass kind of a small design experience for them, but we ended up completely taking over the complete technology aspect of the brand, right from guiding, consulting, implementing, helping the brand get into multiple geographies, multiple countries, multiple integrations, multiple languages support. So I think that also gave us a lot of confidence around scaling large digital initiatives. And that one case study for us brought in so much of wealth of credibility, understanding, knowledge, visibility, that right now I think we are the pioneers of in that space of building that transformation products in that space. So I think that one experience we're very proud of, and I think we got a lot of while my team worked very closely and very pretty hard to crack that account and experience, but we got a lot of support from the customer as well in helping uh, us bring the best for them as well. So I think it was a very close coordination, but very, very fortunate to be part of that journey. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, what's your favorite quote that you really stand by in your life?
I think this is very simple and straightforward answer, and I think everybody in my team probably would know it already. Uh, Assumptions is the mother of all fuck ups.
Okay. And why do you believe in it so firmly?
I believe because personally, I also feel that at times, a lot of times, we keep making assumptions about things that are bound to happen. They are not bound to happen, and we keep thinking around it, and and as a result, it limits our potential to grow. It limits our potential to take an action. It limits our potential to ask right questions, and that is where I think the challenge is. So if at times we keep reminding ourselves of what damage an assumption could make in our lives, I think it transforms your life completely. So even in my team, when I work closely with them, and at times I feel there's something that is not going right, I always ask my team, hey, just go and look in my cabin, you find something written for you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's a recent industry trend or innovation that you find really exciting?
I think we all know about the impact that AI has given in our lives. So right from the conversation to generative AI to now AI agents, the way we interact has completely transformed. Right from creating content, strategies, exchange of information. I think AI has bound to bring a lot of massive impact, not just in our personal lives, but at an enterprise level as well, in terms of building large, complex, solving problems through which we are solving. Yeah. Quantum computing is one of them. I personally feel I think it's still at a very early stage, but it is bound to have a very meaningful impact in our fields of maybe material science, cryptography. So I think we're bound to see a lot of innovation happening in quantum computing as well. I think one area which is close to me is around sustainable tech. Uh, any focus, any efforts built around sustainable tech. I think a lot of innovations happening in that space, and innovations happening around reducing the environmental impact in a more meaningful way is very close to my heart as well. I think that is where a lot of efforts have been put across and would continue to evolve and improve around what else we can do to improve our make a better planet, make a better life actually.
So the IT space is really crowded.
Yeah.
What sets apart AppInventiv from its competitors?
I think the first and the most differentiating factor for us is a value-driven approach. The way we work for our customers is purely focused around creating an impact for them, bringing a lot of value back to them in terms of the experience and technology and the way we interact and we build products for them. So I think focus on value beyond just doing a business or a transaction. It is more about giving much more than what customer might have expected in terms of and becoming just one single point of contact for solving all the problems they want to get solved. I think second is building a very strong technology teams, process and systems. It's only when you can scale, when you have right tools, right processes, right talent, right technology, and you got to be also be investing regularly in terms of training your people, mentoring them, investing into right technologies to enable faster deployment and smoother processes. So this is again very important part of our experience. The third is I think we also come out as a complete end-to-end package or end-to-end partner for the customers. So not just building products, we also help them ideate, do a consultative selling approach, help them design, experience, build products, maintain, ship, and do the complete end-to-end transformation for them. So that way, it helps them to ensure that all their problems get solved under one roof, and we take over as much as technology innovation back on our shoulders so that they can focus on their business, they can focus on the growth, and while technology is something that we can help them drive through. So we help them grow their business, solve their problems through technology that we build for them.
Right.
I think last is the culture. The culture is very important. I think the way people interact, the way we help people nurture their personal, professional lives, giving them the right environment, right culture, right processes, right trainings, and ensuring that every part of their life gets leveraged through our process. I think culture is a very heart and soul of every organization that differentiates us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we're known for that in the industry. We're known for our culture. I think that definitely differentiates us. That also reflects not just internally when we collaborate, it also reflects how people are able to go overboard beyond their expectations to work with the customers and help them bring out the best for them. So yeah.
So can you believe that it's been almost 2 years since AppInventiv and MobileAppDaily have been working together? And I would love to get your take of this partnership on camera.
Well, it's been 2 years, unbelievable. So we've been fortunate to partner with Mobile App Daily, and their team is phenomenal. They have amazing people with a lot of energies, a lot of creative ideas, a lot of exchange of great conversations. In last 2 years, we have honestly evolved and grown beyond our expectations, and I think Mobile App Daily has a very strong role to play in our growth journey. So we're very fortunate to have been working with them, and honestly would love to come back on camera in next 5 years when we complete this partnership with them. Yeah,
Absolutely. We'll be really excited to have you back.
absolutely, 100%.
A lot of founders and startups struggle with funding, but AppInventiv is a bootstrap company. How did you manage to do it for the last 10 years?
I think being bootstrapped, it helped us stay disciplined and it helped us to bring a sustainable growth for the organization. And I think in that process, uh, I think it enabled us to focus more on profitability than hype. And I think being bootstrapped, we were also had a lot of decision making powers to take the right decision, the right point of time, what we felt looked great at that point of time. I think that really worked for us as well. So I think to conclude, I think being bootstrapped has enabled our growth and has been a very powerful growth engine for us that I think that has worked well for us. And I think we're very proud as a team. It gives us a lot of pride and enormous kind of encouragement that we managed to stay humble, nimble, and stay profitable and bootstrapped and still manage to grow consistently year on year throughout.
So, a lot of startups have failed quite publicly so. What's your take on this? What is going wrong in these startups that are failing like that?
So every startup journey is unique. Some massively scale and become a successful uh, startups, and some face some unforeseen challenges in their growth journey. I think Indian startup ecosystem is learning a lot
Yeah.
from all these experiences around and utilizing that learning to become a better version of themselves. I think fundamentally, if we have transparency processes and our strong fundamentals in place, there's a very likelihood that we can build a great organization or a startup. I'm very bullish about the Indian startup ecosystem, and I'm very positive about the impact the startups have brought into our lives, for that matter. And I'm very positive about the future as well. I think Indian startup ecosystem is very transformational, very disruptive, and very positive, and it is bound to create a lot of impact and value for all of us.
Right. With the growth of startup culture in India, have you noticed an uptake of Indian business clients in your business? And also, what do you think is the adoption for AI looking like right now? Where, like, how far are we into this journey?
I think it's a very interesting question, and in fact, last 6 months have been very interesting for us in this space. A lot of Indian startups are doing some phenomenal work in the AI space. They're building some great products. They're utilizing solving some great use cases, and not just in India, even globally. If you look into it, and not just startups for that matter, even large enterprises, they're massively looking into scaling their initiatives in AI space. A lot of enterprise have a lot of strong mandates
Yeah.
around adopting best practices in AI, and I'm happy to see so much of progress, so much of maturity, so much of strong willingness to adopt AI into their businesses. We speak with enterprise and startups all throughout the day and almost every day in helping them take the right decisions. So yes, a lot of startups or enterprise for that matter, they're very early in that stage. They're still adopters. They're just conscious of which decision, what direction they want to get into, and some of them are very matured in terms of their learning and their adoption as well. So I think it's mix of everything. While some of them are cautiously trying to pick up what might work best for them, and some of them are massively investing. We're doing a lot of POCs. We're doing a lot of work and building some interesting use cases around AI for a lot of organizations globally. So I think it's a mix of everything. But I think we're bound to see a lot of traction in next coming months or year for that matter.
Right. So, thank you so much, sir, for this brilliant conversation. I learned a lot from you, and I hope our audience did too. How was your experience?
Thanks, Shagun, for inviting me. Appreciate you doing this podcast with me. I would love to come again and share my experiences, and let's stay connected. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you too, I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as we did. And if you do, then make sure you follow for more such conversations. See you.